If you had told me 3 months ago that my entire marriage would begin to rot from the inside out because of a woman who wore Ugg slippers to get the mail and watered her plants in a lace bralette, I would have laughed. Hell, I might have even defended her. She's harmless, I would have said, just lonely. But now I know better. Let me rewind. I'm Vanessa Morgan, 36, senior data analyst at a fintech startup. I live in a suburb just outside of Denver, one of those neighborhoods that looks like a Pinterest board threw up in every cul-de-sac. My husband Cole is a software architect, tall, charming, painfully symmetrical face. We've been married for 8 years, no kids. We were the couple people described as solid, like we were made of brick and loyalty. Except that brick, it started to crack the moment she moved in next door. Her name is Lindsay, early 30s, divorcee, drives a white Audi that's always clean but never parked straight. She moved into the craftsman-style house next door in late September, one of those golden autumn afternoons where everything feels too perfect. I even baked her a damn banana bread loaf. I remember knocking on her door, holding that still warm, foil-wrapped gift like some naive welcome committee, and being greeted by this wide smile, pouty lips, hair in a messy bun that somehow still looked like it belonged in a dry shampoo ad. She called me babe within 30 seconds of meeting me. Red flag number 1. Cole called her friendly. I called her trying too hard. And then came the subtle things. Her trash bin mysteriously showing up beside ours on garbage day. Her dog accidentally running into our yard while she followed, breathless in yoga pants that did too much. Her conveniently timed walks past our kitchen window every morning when Cole made coffee shirtless, like some goddamn clockwork nymph. Still, I said nothing, because I believed in trust, because I believed Cole wasn't that guy, and because confrontation has a way of making you look crazy before it confirms you were right. But then, the towel. I came home early one Thursday afternoon, pretending to be sick so I could avoid a soul-sucking all-hands meeting. The house was quiet. I dropped my keys, kicked off my heels, and started up the stairs. That's when I saw it. A damp, crumpled, floral towel sitting at the bottom of our laundry chute. I don't own floral towels. I own all white towels. Cole has never cared enough to buy any. And suddenly, every nerve in my body lit up like a goddamn fire alarm. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. Instead, I picked up the towel, walked to the guest bathroom, and placed it neatly on the counter like I was preparing a crime scene. Then I went into full reconnaissance mode. The truth didn't slap me in the face. It unfolded. Subtle receipts on Cole's credit card. Pete's coffee at odd hours. Uber rides that started in our neighborhood and ended 2 blocks over. A shared Google Calendar invite labeled UX consultation, scheduled for 10 p.m. on a Saturday. But the kicker? A text that popped up on his phone while he was in the shower. No name, just a heart emoji and the words, "Still thinking about this morning." My hands didn't shake. Instead, I smiled, hooked the towel on the corner of our mirror and thought, let's play. Because if Cole thought he could cheat on me, in our house, in our neighborhood, with the woman who had once borrowed my lemon zester, then he was going to learn a lesson he'd never forget. This isn't going to be a messy explosion. No, it's going to be surgical. The first thing you need to know about me is, I don't believe in revenge that burns fast and fizzles out. No, I believe in revenge that simmers. The kind you serve cold, plated with garnishes, and hand-delivered with a smile. After that text message, I didn't confront Cole. I didn't scream or accuse or cry in the shower like some dramatic Netflix protagonist. Instead, I went to work. I made dinner. I kissed him on the cheek. I let him believe I was still asleep while he slipped out early on Saturday for a meeting downtown. I even sent him a loving good luck text, because if you want to catch a liar, you let him lie uninterrupted. I started collecting things. I knew he was sleeping with Lindsay, but I needed more than a gut feeling and a stupid floral towel. I needed documentation. So I began my little project, Operation Exposure. I checked his location history. He'd left it on for me once, probably to prove how open he was. Sweet of him. Most of the time, it looked normal. Work, gym, grocery store. But on Tuesday afternoons, he'd ping at Lindsay's house for exactly 47 minutes. Every Tuesday, like a recurring appointment for adultery. Then I pulled the Wi-Fi router logs. I know, I'm thorough. Turns out, someone had been connecting to our network with a device named Lint's iPhone 13. She didn't even try to hide it. She was logging into our Wi-Fi while entertaining my husband. I took screenshots of everything, printed them, labeled them like I was running my own mini CIA desk, even added sticky notes with timestamps. One of them said, "Her device was online while I was at yoga. She was in my home when I was literally trying to center my breath." But I wasn't done. I needed something personal. So I befriended her. Oh yeah, I knocked on her door, holding another loaf of banana bread like the masochist I am, and said, "I've been meaning to apologize. I've been kind of distant. It's not like me." She blinked at me, confused, but trying to play it cool. "Oh, babe, no worries. You've just been busy. Come in." And I did. I sat on her white boucle sofa, the one I now know Cole's back has probably touched more times than mine this year, and sipped her overpriced rosewater lemonade. I complimented her framed art prints. I even asked where she got her sick, chunky throw blanket. It's from Anthropology, $180. I bought the same one that night. For what comes next? She showed me her phone to share a TikTok, and just like that, I saw it. The wallpaper. A photo of Cole, shirtless, on a beach we've never been to, holding a coconut. I stared at it for a beat too long, smiled, and said, "Is that your brother?" Just to watch her panic. She stuttered, No, it's a friend from college." I nodded, took another sip, and said, "Cute." Inside, I was howling. I left after 15 minutes, waved cheerily, and texted Cole immediately. "Just had the loveliest chat with Lindsay. She says hi." He didn't respond for an hour. When he finally did, it was just, "Oh, cool. Glad you two are getting along." Getting along. Right. That night, I curled up in bed with my laptop, wearing the new blanket I'd bought. I opened a blank document and typed at the top, the exposure plan. Because this wasn't just about catching them. This was about humiliating them. And I already knew when it would happen. Next month. Our neighborhood's annual block party. Oh, sweet summer justice. The invitation came in the form of a Facebook event, like all good suburban betrayals. Subject: Summer Bash on Sycamore Lane. Host: Tina from 2 doors down, the unofficial mayor of our street and the woman whose potato salad is feared and respected in equal measure. I clicked going without hesitation. So did Cole. So did Lindsay. I knew they would. Because this was their kind of scene. Beer coolers, ambient fairy lights, Cole holding court near the grill while Lindsay did that fake laugh head toss thing she thinks makes her look cute. Oh, they were going to perform, and I was going to give them a stage. But first, I needed allies. Enter my real MVP, Bridget. Single mom, certified gossip engine, and owner of an actual police scanner. She knows everything about everyone on this block. And the minute I hinted that I suspected Cole was getting neighborly with Lindsay, Her eyes lit up like she'd been personally chosen by the tea gods. "Girl, say no more," she whispered, already pulling up her text receipts. Apparently, Lindsay had been walking her dog in yoga pants and a full face of makeup on Tuesdays and Thursdays. A new pattern. Good to know. Bridget had seen Cole's car parked 2 driveways over. Not in front of her house, of course, she said, because that would be too obvious. But same time every week. We began assembling a little evidence board in Bridget's garage. Printed screenshots. A photo of Cole walking into Lindsay's front door with a takeout bag. It was Thai food. I recognized the logo. The same place we used to order from every Friday. The audacity. And then there was the selfie. Lindsay, in a swimsuit, taking a mirror shot on her back patio. Guess whose sunglasses were sitting on the table in the background? Mine. Mine. The same pair Cole accidentally broke last month and claimed he threw away. Oh, sweet baby karma. I didn't scream. I didn't rage. I smiled. Because now I had what I needed. So I did the next logical thing. I offered to help Tina plan the block party. I said I'd handle the printed invites, design, print, and personally deliver them. I just love a little old school charm, I told her. And that wasn't a lie, because I did love it. Especially the little touch I added at the bottom of each card. Share your favorite memory from this year for our neighborhood slideshow. Email your photos to sycamoresummermemories@outlook.com. Spoiler, that was my burner account. And I already had a folder titled Exhibit A, Busted. Bridget submitted 3 photos anonymously, one of Cole and Lindsay at a local wine bar, clearly on a date. Another from her ring cam of them leaving Lindsay's house together late at night. And the last? Oh, it was art. A blurry but unmistakable shot of them kissing behind Lindsay's fence. You could barely see their faces, but Cole's tattoo, a minimalistic mountain range on his forearm, gave him away like a signature on a confession letter. I paired the photos with some romantic instrumental music, nothing too cheesy, just enough to make it feel like a heartfelt love story, if the audience didn't know the context. This slideshow was going to play during the party's community appreciation moment, projected on a screen in Tina's backyard, in front of everyone. Yes, I coordinated with the AV guy. Yes, I told him exactly which slide to accidentally leave in the final cut. And yes, I made damn sure Cole and Lindsay would be seated right up front. The day of the party was sunny, warm, full of the fake smile, drink too early, grill and chit-chat energy that makes you want to scream into a throw pillow. But I smiled. I mingled. I wore white. Cole kissed my cheek and said I looked stunning. You too, I replied. Lindsay walked by in a crop top. I handed her a margarita. Hope you like it sweet, I said. I used your favorite, that weird watermelon mixer from Whole Foods. Her smile faltered. Just a flicker. But I caught it. Oh, babe, you're not the only one paying attention. And when Tina tapped her glass and asked everyone to gather by the screen for a special slideshow of our year together, I took my place behind the crowd. Like a director before the curtains rise. Lights down, music up, slideshow on. And then, bam, slide number 14, Cole, Lindsay, the kiss. Gasps, a few nervous laughs. Bridget whispering, "Holy shit, she really did it." Cole's face, white. Lindsay's? Like she'd swallowed a ghost. I took a sip of my drink and whispered to myself, this is just the beginning. You ever watch someone's life unravel in slow motion? Cole tried to act cool when the kiss photo flashed on the screen. For exactly 3 seconds, he sat still. Then came the twitch in his jaw. the side eye toward Lindsay, and the deep inhale of a man trying to decide between fight or flight. He chose the worst option, gaslight. After the slideshow ended and the murmurs started, "Is that Cole? Wait, is that Lindsay's fence? Weren't they married?" He turned to me and said, "Babe, I don't know what that was, but someone's clearly messing with us." With us? I blinked once, just once, and then I walked away. Left him standing there with his half-eaten burger and a mouth full of panic. He followed, of course. Grabbed my arm behind Tina's shed like we were in some bad soap opera. "Vanessa, I swear that wasn't me. That photo's old or doctored or..." I turned to him and handed over a folder I had stashed in my purse, neatly labeled, color-coded tabs. Inside, printouts of the text messages I'd airdropped from his iPad, screenshots of the location pings, and a photo of her phone connected to our home Wi-Fi, time-stamped while I was literally out buying him an anniversary gift. He flipped through it like a man flipping through his own obituary. "Why didn't you say anything?" he whispered. I smiled. "Because I wanted to give you enough rope." He looked down, ashamed or furious or both. And then, the classic. It didn't mean anything. God, that line. That recycled, pathetic lie men tell themselves to shrink the size of their betrayal. I didn't cry. I didn't yell. I leaned in close, just enough for him to see the calm in my face, and said, "It meant enough to risk everything. And now, I'm going to make sure it costs you exactly that." Then I walked back into the party. And Lindsay? Oh, honey, she had already left. Pulled a full disappearing act, vanished down the street with a solo cup and her pride crumbling behind her. Good, because the party wasn't over, not yet. The next morning, I made the calls. My lawyer, my building's HR rep, because yes, Cole was dumb enough to sleep with someone in our office's marketing department, and my realtor. It was time to burn the house. Not with fire. With paperwork. Cole slept on the couch that night, not because I asked him to, but because I locked the bedroom door and turned my phone off. The next morning, I woke up calm, not numb, clear. There's a difference. Numb is when you can't feel. Clear is when you finally see. I made coffee, I fed the cat, I sat at the kitchen table with my laptop and treated the end of my marriage like a hostile corporate takeover. First call, my lawyer. Second, HR. Yes, we worked for partner companies on shared contracts. Yes, there was a non-fraternization clause. And yes, I had screenshots of Slack messages sent after midnight, labeled Project Sync, that were anything but. HR loves documentation. I gave them a buffet. By noon, Cole texted me. "Why is HR asking me about Lindsay?" I didn't reply. Instead, I forwarded everything to my lawyer and asked a single question. What's the fastest legal way to disentangle my life from his? Turns out, speed favors the prepared. By 3 p.m., I'd frozen our joint account. By 4, I'd changed the passwords to every shared service. Streaming, cloud storage, even the stupid grocery delivery app he loved. At 5, I booked a consultation with a realtor. Cole came home early, eyes wild, panic leaking out of him. "You're destroying my life," he said, voice cracking like I was the villain in his story. "No," I said calmly. "I'm correcting a clerical error." He tried apologies, then anger, then tears. The full carousel. I watched it like someone waiting for luggage at baggage claim. Mildly annoyed, but detached. "What do you want?" he finally asked. I stood up, walked to the closet, and handed him a neatly folded stack of clothes. "I want you gone." He moved in with a friend that night. Lindsay never came back to the block, and 2 weeks later, HR put Cole on administrative review. That's corporate speak for start polishing your resume. Funny thing about revenge. When it's quiet, people underestimate it. They shouldn't. You'd think after being publicly exposed and ghosting from the block party like a disgraced reality show contestant, Lindsay would lie low. But no. 3 weeks post-party, I got a DM from a burner account. No profile picture, no followers, just one message. I didn't mean to hurt you. I honestly didn't know he was still with you. I stared at it, smiled, then replied, "Which part? When you borrowed my lemon zester, or when you connected to my Wi-Fi?" No response. But she'd opened it. That was enough. The audacity of her pretending to be the other victim? Unbelievable. She knew. Of course she knew. She waved at me from her lawn while my husband's toothbrush was drying in her bathroom. She could have stayed silent, disappeared. But she reached out. That was her fatal mistake. So I did something petty. Beautifully, strategically petty. I uploaded the security cam footage, the one from our porch, time-stamped, showing Cole opening the door in nothing but sweatpants and Lindsay walking out in my hoodie holding my Yeti mug. I posted it on a private Instagram account I knew she still followed. Caption: "The morning after her, I had no idea." The account had 12 followers, all close friends. But I knew one of them would pass it along. People love a little suburban scandal. Within hours, the burner account was deleted, but not before I got a screenshot of the read receipt. Just another receipt for my collection. Meanwhile, Cole was crumbling. HR had officially demoted him, pending further investigation. He was now doing low-tier QA reviews, while I was promoted to lead analyst on the same contract. Oh yes, poetic. He texted me one night at 1:13 a.m. "Can we at least talk?" I turned my phone face down and poured another glass of wine. Because here's the truth. When people show you who they are, believe them. And when they try to rewrite the story, make sure you've already published the first draft. Some people beg for closure. Me, I prefer an itemized exit. The house was our last shared asset, the crown jewel. 3 bedrooms, double vanity, mountain views from the upstairs office, which, by the way, Cole had once used for Zoom calls with her. And I paid for most of it. My credit, my down payment, my name on the documents. So when my realtor called and said, "You'll get full asking if you list before fall," I didn't hesitate. I signed, I packed, and I staged the house myself. Neutral throws, warm lighting, none of the cold tech crap Cole liked to leave lying around. It didn't even look like our house anymore. It looked better. The only thing I left behind was a manila envelope in the junk drawer, tucked behind some old takeout menus and a half-dead Sharpie. Inside, a flash drive labeled Memories. It held exactly 3 things: the slideshow from the block party, the folder of texts, timestamps, and receipts, a note that said, "You should have thought twice before using our wedding song in her Instagram story." I didn't tell Cole I sold the house until the day of closing. He'd been couch surfing with a coworker, texting occasionally, always hovering between, "I miss you," and, "Can we be adults about this?" So I messaged him simply, "House is sold. Your mail is at the front desk. Good luck." No reply. But I know he read it. He always reads it. I moved into a sleek little condo downtown. Exposed brick, plants that only need water once a week, and 0 emotional residue. It smells like citrus and wood polish, not betrayal. And on my first night there, I poured a glass of wine, lit a candle, and watched the city hum outside my window. Free. finally. Not waiting for a man to get his act together. Not wondering if I was being paranoid or dramatic. Just still, powerful, mine. Closure isn't something you find. It's something you build. And I built mine out of truth, courage, and the blueprint of everything I would never tolerate again. I didn't check in on Cole. I didn't stalk his socials or text mutual friends. That part of me, the one who needed updates, died the day I handed the keys to a real estate agent and walked away from the wreckage. But Karma? She has a way of sending updates without being asked. It came one morning in the form of a LinkedIn notification. Bridget, my block party accomplice, sent it with the casual savagery of a woman who thrives on poetic justice. Looks like someone updated their job status. I opened the link. Cole's headline: Seeking new opportunities, experienced in UX systems architecture. Translation: he got fired. I didn't celebrate. Okay, that's a lie. I made a pancake. One giant, buttery, celebratory pancake with LOL written in chocolate chips. Because losing your wife, your job, your mistress, and your mortgage in under 90 days, that's not just karma. That's a reckoning. I found out later, from a mutual friend who didn't know I knew everything, that Lindsay had moved back in with her sister in Scottsdale. Apparently, she posted a now-deleted story that said, "Sometimes people aren't who they seem." Girl, you were the mirror. As for Cole, he tried texting again. New number, same energy. I know I messed up. I'm not asking for another chance, just a conversation. I blocked it. Closure isn't a conversation. Closure is peace. And mine was wrapped in silence, tied with boundaries, and delivered with the kind of grace that makes people think maybe you're the villain, until they see the receipts. That night, I met friends for dinner. We laughed, we ordered too much sushi, and not once did I think about whether Cole would approve of the bill. Because he's not part of this story anymore. He's just a footnote. I wasn't looking. Let me be clear about that. After everything, the betrayal, the unraveling, the absolute drama of it all, I wasn't trying to date. I was focused on rebuilding, recentering, and relearning what it meant to enjoy a Saturday morning without feeling like I was being lied to over eggs and coffee. But life has a twisted sense of humor. It happened at a bookstore. Cliché, I know. I was in the memoir section, flipping through a paperback about women who rebuilt their lives after loss. A little too on the nose. I was about to put it back when someone beside me said, "If you're looking for revenge inspiration, you might want this one instead." I turned. Tall, slightly scruffy, glasses, holding Gone Girl like it was a peace offering. "Are you saying I give off unhinged wife energy?" I asked, deadpan. He smiled. Not unhinged, just meticulously composed. Like someone who's already won the argument and is just waiting for the other person to realize it. I laughed. I couldn't help it. "You nailed that too quickly. Should I be concerned?" "Probably," he said, and then added, "I'm Marcus." We talked for 20 minutes in front of the memoirs, then coffee, then more. I didn't tell him everything. Not yet. Just that I'd gone through a recalibration. He didn't pry, didn't play therapist, just asked smart questions and listened without that glazed-over look I'd gotten used to during the last 2 years of my marriage. He texted that night. I had a great time. Also, I bought the revenge book, just in case. And something about that made me smile. Not because I was falling, not yet, but because, for once, Someone wasn't trying to manipulate me, fix me, or tell me to calm down. He just saw me. Sharp edges, battle scars, sarcasm, and all. And said, "Yeah, I like that." Not a savior, not a rebound, just a reminder. I'm still worth choosing, even after everything. It's strange, the things you grieve. Not just the person, the idea of them, the plans, the little routines, Sunday pancakes, inside jokes, that dumb way he'd wiggle his eyebrows when trying to be funny. It's like grieving a ghost you lived with. But grief fades, and power returns. Quietly, then all at once. These days, I don't think about Cole. Not in the way I used to. Not with longing or anger or even pity. He's just background noise. The closing scene of a film I walked out of before the credits rolled. What I do think about? The way I reclaimed my time. I sleep in on Saturdays now. I drink coffee slowly. I work out not because I'm trying to stay attractive, but because I like the feeling of being strong. I deleted our shared playlists, made new ones. One is literally titled Songs You Cheat Alone To, and it's all power ballads and petty bops, pure therapy. I see Marcus every couple of weeks, no pressure, no declarations, just good conversation, mutual respect, and long walks where no one tries to shrink the other. The best part? I don't feel the need to become anyone else for him. I'm still sarcastic, still strategic, still the woman who took down her cheating husband with a slideshow and a smile. That part? It's not going anywhere. And I've kept the banana bread recipe. Not for him, for me. Because even now, even after everything, I still like warm bread on cold days. Still believe in rituals. Still believe in beginnings, the kind I choose on my terms. Revenge wasn't the end of my story. It was just the moment I remembered who the hell I was. And honestly, she's better than she's ever been.